Hey, what is up? Matt here from Surplus Trader Secrets, and today I'm going to show you how long does it take to flip an inventory deal? How long does it actually take? A lot of people ask me the question, Matt, I'd love to flip some deals, but how long does it actually take to, flip a deal and go from zero to profit in the bank? So there are various levels of flipping deals and how long they take to actually complete a deal. So what I'm going to show you today are each level of flipping an inventory deal. So the first level is level 1. So level 1 is the fastest way of flipping a deal, okay? And there's a couple of ways of actually doing this. And obviously, this is the best way, and this is what our priority is when we are flipping deals. We want to flip a deal as fast as possible. So this is the fast way to flip a deal. And it all comes down to certain criteria within that deal. And a lot of it comes down to timing, and a lot of it comes down to who wants that specific type of inventory at that specific moment in time. Okay, so we're going to assume that you've reached the point where you actually have an inventory deal that you've been offered from a seller. Okay, using the methods that I teach inside my coaching program. So when you get offered an inventory deal, what we're doing is we are actually putting that out to specific buyer connections who would be interested in that type of inventory. Now, a lot of it, like I say, is timing, and if everything synchronizes right, a deal can be done very, very quickly, like within a day. Or within a couple of days maximum. So once we put that offer out to our network of buyer connections and we get that spark of interest, it then boils down to a couple of things. One is how motivated is the seller to get rid of that stock? Meaning, is that price the right price immediately, okay? Or we're in the similar ballpark as far as the price is concerned and what that buyer will pay for that inventory. Now, if all that synchronizes very quickly, we can get a very interested and firm buyer very, very quickly indeed, just by emailing that information to the buyer with all the pictures and all the relevant details. The buyer will be hungry to buy that stock, and they're happy with the price. They don't need to see a sample. They don't need to go and inspect that inventory. They're happy with the information they've received and all the photos, etc. And we can agree a price with the seller very, very quickly, and we can agree a price with the buyer very, very quickly. And we can literally be invoicing the buyer for that inventory on the day that we've been offered that stock, and we can get our invoice from the seller, and we can do the transactions, and the deal can be done, and you can have your profit in the bank literally within 24 hours or 48 hours max. Those are fast deals, and sure, those deals are out there to be had. Lots of them. Lots of those fast deals, for sure. Okay? And so, as I say, it's very, very all about how motivated the seller is, and is that price workable with the buyer and with the seller, and it all falls into place very, very quickly. It's just one of those deals that just falls into place very, very quickly. And like I say, it's a lot about timing. It's the day you've been offered that inventory is the day that a buyer is actually interested in buying that inventory. And things just fall into place very quickly. And that's just how it happens in this business. What I'm going to show you now is level 2, which is a little bit slower, but it's another type of inventory deal that you can complete, and It doesn't happen immediately, but it's great to have in your pipeline of offers, something that you are working on, and although you might not complete that deal within a day or two, it's a deal that looks like you're going to complete. So we're going to look at this, and we're going to obviously call this one the level 2. Medium length of time can be a week or a few weeks. And so what happens here is, assuming again that you've got an inventory offer and we're putting that out to buyer connections to get that interest. And so what can happen here is things might not happen immediately. So a number of reasons. Firstly, it might just be the price level. So you can't get any interest immediately because the price level is just not quite workable. We're not at that stage where we're in profit on that deal and we can go ahead and move forward on that deal. So it might take days or a week or 2 weeks just to keep negotiating with the seller of the goods and try and get them down on the price. It could take a week or two to, negotiate with the interested buyer that we've got. It might be that we haven't found a firm buyer for those goods yet. So sometimes you can get an offer of inventory and you don't get immediate interest. Okay, you just don't. It happens in this business. So what we're doing is we are just putting that offer around. We're showing it to people through our network of connections, maybe through our middlemen, broker connections who have their own buyer connections, maybe through LinkedIn. Maybe we are finding and locating brand new buyer connections online that we can show that offer to. So your existing network of buyer connections, or my existing network of buyer connections, just might not be interested in that inventory at this moment in time. Or maybe they are, but the price is too high. So we have to just keep pushing the seller and see if we can get them down on price. At the same time, we're going to be pushing the buyer and seeing if we can get them up on price. That can take several weeks, but it's always great to have a stack of these offers in your pipeline that maybe you're not going to just move that deal fast, but it might take a week or two. But if you've got a stack of these offers that you're working on, then these are deals that we can pull off. Sometimes you can just suddenly get a spark of interest a few weeks later, a few weeks after offering that inventory out to your buyer connections, and it just happens. Like, it can be just timing. Someone might not be interested now, but circumstances change, and in a week or 2 weeks they might just be interested again, or they just might not have noticed that offer properly when you first put that out to them, and then suddenly they actually see that offer and think, actually, yeah, could be interested. So like I say, this level 2, it's one of those where it's not going to happen fast. You've got to be patient, and you've got to work on that deal. You've got to work hard to try and find a buyer for that inventory. We're going to look now at level 3, which is, it's a slower method of getting an inventory deal over the line. However, it's still worth pursuing. So level 3. Okay, so level 3 is the slow method. So what happens here, as an example with the level 3 slower method, is this is a deal that you might have been offered and you just can't get any interest, or the price is just too high. The seller is just offering you that inventory, but the price is just unrealistic. It's just a price that just doesn't fit into our industry. It's not a true clearance, surplus, liquidation price level that is going to attract a buyer connection. And we might be working on this for a few weeks and it kind of just fizzles out a bit, and in the end what we do is we just say, look, this deal is just not going to happen. We're just going to put that aside. However, what we're going to do is we're going to actually reconnect with that seller in a few months' time. We're going to email them in maybe a month or 2 months' time, and we're going to say, do you still have that inventory? We couldn't do anything a few months back, but maybe we can revisit it and maybe resurrect that deal. Would you be willing to negotiate further down on the price? And also, a few months later, you might have actually found some new buyer contacts that you hadn't offered that inventory to beforehand. So, as I say, months later down the line, circumstances change and we find new buyer contacts, or your original buyer contacts suddenly look at that offer and they might not have been interested several months ago, but now they are interested. It just might be timing or the time of the year. And again, the seller of the goods might think, actually, a few months later, we're still sitting on this inventory in our warehouse. We need to start making some decisions. Okay, we'll bring the price down further and hopefully, this inventory will sell. So this is what happens with these deals that, a few months later, even though you didn't do anything back when they first offered you that inventory, several months later, and this can be, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, even a year later, guys, we resurrect deals that we were offered from way back, and we do the deal. So this is what we're doing. We're picking up deals that we'd been offered from months and months back, but we're just revisiting that offer. We're just reconnecting with that seller and saying, have you still got that stock? Great, okay, shall we look at it again? And come on, it's been in your warehouse for so long now. It's tying up valuable storage space. It's costing you money in storage costs. And the stock is depreciating as well. Sometimes the stock months later is worth way less than it was several months back as well. So what we're doing is we're resurrecting these slow deals that didn't happen back then, but they might happen now, months later. Okay, so we've got the level 1, the fast way. We've got the level 2, medium way, where, the buyer might want a sample, for example. He might even want to inspect those goods as well. He might want to go and physically inspect the goods. He might just be thinking about it. Your buyer might be an actual middleman or broker as well. So they might be actively trying to find a firm buyer in their specific industry. So, which is why it might take a week or two for it to complete. And then the slow way, where you're just revisiting old deals from months and months back that we can resurrect. But the great thing about all this, guys, is if you are implementing and you keep finding inventory, what you're going to get is a situation where you've got all these 3 levels happening on the go all the time. So all the time you've got a pipeline of offers, and they all will come under these categories. You'll have some deals that we can do fast. You'll have some deals that, might take a week or two, or a bit longer. And then you've got these slower deals that they're just not happening. We're going to revisit them a few months later. So if you've got all this going on at once, that is how you get consistent money and profit in the bank every single month in this business, by having all these different levels going on at once. You've got fast deals, medium deals, and slower deals. This is information that I'm giving you, and the only way this actually works is by actually implementing. And if you implement what I teach in my coaching program, you can have a consistent stream of inventory offers coming into your mailbox from suppliers, and then we're going to be working on those deals. Some of them are going to be fast, and we're going to get money in the bank quick. Some of them are not going to be so fast. It might take a few weeks. Some of them are going to be slower. It might take a few months. But if you've got that going on each month, all year round, that's when you can earn the big money in this business, guys. If this training resonates with you and you want to speak to me about getting into this business of flipping inventory, maybe you want an extra income stream on the side of your job, maybe you're looking for a new business opportunity that you can start. What I'm doing is I'm offering a few spots where you can book a free strategy call with me, where we can see if you're a good fit for us, we're a good fit for you, and get you into our program and get you started doing these sort of deals and get profit in the bank. Click on the link above and book a free strategy call with me, and I will speak to you very, very soon. And as usual, guys, if you like my videos, please click the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will be alerted on anything that I upload onto YouTube. I will see you soon.